Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to part 4 of our AMC 24-hour movie talk marathon here on AMC Theaters, on our YouTube channel here at youtube.com/AMC Theaters. Once again, my name is John Campia. I am the editor-in-chief of AMC Movie News, and we are so glad that you are here and joining us. And we are entering into hour number 6. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Yes, we're into hour number 6 now. Of our 24-hour marathon. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And I want to remind you why we're doing this. Why am we staying up for 24 hours and talking about movie stuff? Well, the reason is because, as many of you know, last month the Philippines had the worst and most powerful typhoon in recorded history hit that country and just caused unspeakable devastation. And we want all of us together as film fans to come together and make a difference. We want you to make a donation, and you can see the link to where you can make that donation right here. It's at www.crowdrise.com/AMC Movie News Philippines. If you can just go there, click the big Make a Donation button, and you will make a difference, seriously, in people's lives. And I'm just going to do a quick check here about where we are at. A little while ago, we crossed $10,000, which is blowing my mind. We are now at $11,700 that you guys have raised for helping people out who are in desperate, desperate need. Thank you so much for making those donations. Once again, our original goal was to raise $3,000 by the end of this, and we are already at $11,700 thanks to you. So as we continue doing this marathon, we would encourage you to continue going on over and making donations. Now, in this segment of AMC Movie Talk Marathon, we're talking about 2014. Now, we've already talked about our top 20 films of 2013. We talked about our worst films of 2013, most underestimated films of 2013, but now it is time for us to talk about 2014 and what we are looking forward to in 2014. So I have with me for this segment, of course, sitting beside me, Amy Rose Eisenbach and Dennis Zen, again back in the room with me here. So how do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want me to run down, like I've got the release schedule here in front of me. I can run down films coming out and we can talk about them, or do you want to run down the ones you're really looking for?
We definitely both wrote our favorites down.
Yeah, why don't we talk about your favorites first, and then we'll run down the release list and we'll talk about each one individually as we go.
All right, you can start this one.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then I'm sure we have a lot of duplicates.
We do.
And then I'll just skip over those.
Okay, so in no particular order, I just wrote, of course there's a couple other ones on the release slate that I was like, that could be interesting, but I just pretty much highlighted the ones I know I'm really looking forward to. So in no particular order, well, maybe a little bit of an order. X-Men Days of Future Past, obviously. We just spent the last segment expressing my extreme enthusiasm for it. Amazing Spider-Man 2, really excited about that. Grand Budapest Hotel, Wes Anderson. I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan. 300 Rise into Empire. I honestly wasn't on board, really. I liked the first one, but the fact that Snyder wasn't directing it, I was like, but I loved the trailer, and I'm a big Eva Green fan, so I think that looks great. Transcendence. I know that the trailers have been receiving mixed reviews, but I think Wally Pfister is an incredible DP, and I do have faith that he's going to be a really good filmmaker as well, and the cast is phenomenal. Godzilla, Captain America 2, Sin City 2, finally we're gonna get Sin City 2. I'm really excited for that one. Muppets Most Wanted, Interstellar, of course, we all know I'm a Nolanite. Dumb and Dumber 2, I do think that the sequel is going to be fantastic. I'm not worried that it's been too long. I think all the players that are associated with it are just fantastic. Hobbit, of course, there and back again. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. My goodness, that teaser trailer was amazing. I'm so excited. Noah, I'm a big Darren Aronofsky fan. Chef, Jon Favreau's next film, Adventure. Maleficent, everything I've seen about this looks great, and Angelina Jolie is a goddess, so I'm really excited about that. A Million Ways to Die in the West, of course, Seth MacFarlane's follow-up to Ted. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that as well.
Not to be confused as a sequel to Ted, just a follow-up to Ted.
Follow-up.
Yes.
Follow-up. Because Ted 2's coming. We know that, too. Edge of Tomorrow, I thought that trailer was great, even though we like the original title better.
All you need is kill.
All you need is kill. Jupiter Ascending, while, again, reviews were kind of mixed on that, I still have faith in the Wachowski siblings. I think they really create, that sci-fi badass universe really well, and I'm excited to see what they have for that. Guardians of the Galaxy, of course. It's going to be quirky and odd and awesome, like James Gunn does best. Green Inferno, I am a horror junkie. Do love me some Eli Roth. Lucy, that's the Luke Beeson Scarlett Johansson film, which I think looks really good. Gone Girl, I loved that book. I'm really excited to see what they do with this, and David Fincher always adds such a fantastic spin on everything, so I'm really looking forward to that. Horrible Bosses 2, now that we have our Chris Pine and Christoph Waltz duo.
That's gonna be great.
Oh my god,
them as father and son villains, that
it's
to
the
me
best.
sounds amazing.
The best. So I'm really looking forward to that. And Hunger Games Mockingjay. Transformers, I honestly kind of, it's just been dying down for me, but I will say that all the steps that Michael Bay has taken does have my interest piqued a bit with the Dinobots and adding, Kelsey Grammer and Stanley Tucci and Mark Wahlberg, and I do think that it's going to be interesting. So it wasn't on my list originally, but it is now and shot in native IMAX 3D, and I do think hopefully it's going to be a good film again. So that's the top of my head list that I'm really excited for. Of course, there's a bunch more, but those originally piqued my interest the most.
Dennis?
Probably 75% of your list I have on mine as well. The few...
and 22 Jump Street.
22 Jump Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to be hilarious. Lego Movie. This is a movie that when I first heard of it, I was like, oh, this is so stupid. And I saw the trailer. I was like, no, this is awesome.
No, you're right. And I love those guys.
And this one is probably not on a lot of people's list, but I'm looking forward to the Veronica Mars movie. I was a big fan of the television series, and as long as they maintain that quality of the show, I remember when the show was on, that was Joss Whedon's favorite show. Mm-hmm. He wrote to Rob Thomas, not Rob Thomas the singer, but Rob Thomas, the TV writer and showrunner, and he said, "Hey, this is one of my favorite shows."
I you know what? I never watched it, and I know that I have to, but I never watched it, so I really don't care.
Well, I watched the TV series.
Exactly, then it would be great.
Let's see. Inherent Vice,
Paul
Thomas Anderson's movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, I
was one of those people that actually liked The Master.
I did too.
I don't think it's not a brilliant piece of filmmaking like There Will Be Blood, but I thought it was good. I think it was kind of maybe just incomplete, but I really like Joaquin Phoenix's performance, and Paul Thomas Anderson is one of my favorites. One of the greatest. So this sounds pretty cool. It's like a 70s cop thing.
It's based on that book. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah. That's a good one.
And then I think the last one that you didn't have was Foxcatcher, which I think wasn't that supposed to come out this year, John?
It was originally supposed to come out. Well, this year is now 2014.
Okay, last year. Yesterday.
It was originally supposed to come out in 2013. Foxcatcher, they delayed it. And you're right. That this looks fascinating.
The Bennett Miller movie, starring Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, Mark Ruffalo. Yeah. So hopefully they delayed it for the right reasons.
I definitely wrote my first 2014 check, and that was weird. That was really weird.
Writing that 4.
Yeah, it's like, that's wrong. There's that 4. It's so weird. Awesome.
All right. Well, I don't have a particular list. My plan was to kind of go down the list of what's open. So I'm going to run down basically the release schedule, and we're going to take a look at some of the films and kind of talk about them if they deserve to be talked about at all. So let's take a look here. Starting in January, we got Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. I don't have a lot of interest in it. I don't mind. I'm one of the guys. I don't mind the Paranormal Activity films actually, but this one doesn't look appealing to me right now.
Yeah, I saw the first one and I enjoyed it, but I just haven't had any interest in seeing any
other ones. I'm
over
the formula.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be great. Maybe it'll be awesome. It's just not piquing my interest right now. On the 7th, we've got The Legend of Hercules. I said this before. The first trailer I thought was abysmal, and it made the movie look exactly like I was expecting. And I actually liked the second trailer. I don't know why. But we got Twilight Boy, Kellen Lutz.
I think he'll be good.
I think Kellen Lutz is going to be a fine actor as he continues to develop and grow. Whereas I had no hope for this Hercules movie, I now have some hope. I know, Dennis, you still don't.
No, I don't know which one was the first trailer. I only saw one trailer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. The second trailer was better.
And so the one I saw, I was like, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So yeah, my hope is it went from this to like this. So
Gotcha. All right. On January 14th, we've got The Devil's Due. I'm unfamiliar with it. It's by Fox, though. We've got Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit. I'm looking forward to Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, because it's Jack Ryan and it's Chris Pine.
Kenneth Branagh,
who is directing and the villain in the film.
His accent.
And Kevin Costner, who I look, Kevin Costner became a bit of a joke in Hollywood. He became the butt end of a lot of jokes in Hollywood for a number of years. And I thought it was always unwarranted. I think he's a very good actor. And I like seeing him in a lot of stuff. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
I even loved For Love of the Game. Come on.
But he's in a lot of movies this year, though. He's going to be in what?
He's got that other super
3
spy
Days to
movie
Kill,
coming out.
or-
3 Days to Kill.
I think that looks
good.
That was
Draft Day.
Which I also think looks
I'm
very
a sucker
good.
for sports movies, so I'm really excited about that.
Maybe
This
Kevin
2013 was the year of Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
2014 will be the year of Kevin Costner.
Do it, Costner.
You wait
He's
and
taking
see.
over for Liam Neeson in the action department.
Yeah. Then there's the Open Road Films, The Nut Job, about an animated film with squirrels and nuts. I don't know a lot about the film, so I can't really comment on it. Then we've got the Kevin Smith Ice Cube comedy Ride Along.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. What did I say?
Like Kevin Smith. I was
Different
like,
Kevin.
that's
Smith.
a
Totally
way
different
Very
Kevin.
different
movie.
audience.
Much different movie. The Kevin
Clerks
Hart
5.
Ice Cube film Ride Along. I gotta tell you, the trailer made me giggle.
I don't care.
I think it kind of looks funny. Plus, just the whole Conan bit with Kevin Hart, Ice Cube, and Conan going in that lift car.
Get a lift car or Uber car, whatever it was.
That's clever.
That was hilarious enough for me to be interested.
And actually, our own Erin Darling just left here, who was on the show. She just went to go and talk to the cast of. Wasn't that today? Tomorrow. She's going to the screening tonight. She's going to see the movie. She's going to go talk to the cast tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll have more to report on that a little bit later. Then we move into January 21st with the film that I was very skeptical about, but I got to tell you, it has been growing on me and growing on me. I, Frankenstein.
Yeah.
At first, I thought the first trailer. This is kind of like the Hercules thing. The first trailer I did not think was any good, but it's a sci-fi fantasy kind of thing, so I'm
Graphic
going to watch
novel
it.
kind of has a Sin City feel to it.
Yeah,
Looks
Kevin
cool.
Grievous wrote it. And the trailer didn't get me. I kind of wrote it off, and I've seen a couple more pieces of marketing from it, and all of a sudden I'm going, this could actually be really good. This could be good. Because I like I'm still not really happy with the visual effects I'm seeing in the marketing material. But aside from that, playing a bit with the Frankenstein mythology, I love Aaron Eckhart as an actor. You got Bill Nighy in there.
He's the best.
Who is just awesome.
Yvonne, who's a babe.
This movie could be good. And I'm suddenly now thinking there's some potential here. What do you guys think?
It is not growing on me. Every time I see the trailer before a movie, I'm just like, oh, this again. Yeah, I mean, I do like the cast, but the movie just doesn't interest me too much. It just looks like Underworld with different, instead of the werewolves and the...
Without Kate Beckinsale in leather, that's a big difference.
Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like to me. And I'm tired of this whole like sexy thing. Like it's the sexy Frankenstein, it's the sexy vampires we had before. And
I don't think they've over-sexied Aaron Eckhart in it.
Sexy,
Can you over a sexy Aaron Eckhart?
But he doesn't look like...
Aaron Eckhart is by definition
He's
over-sexy.
sexy.
I mean...
But I mean, they don't really make him like Frankenstein, like a monster. I just remember that scene that like kind of I always laugh at is like when he goes to the club in the trailer and he's got scars on his face and everyone's like, oh my god. I guarantee you that same guy walks in a club today, people will look and then whatever.
But isn't that part of the reimagining of the character a little bit, though?
I'm okay with it. I thought that, I said Sin City because it has that kind of, graphic novel on the big screen vibe to it with, like, the different hues and the darkness and, like, explosive realism. And, like, I thought it looked kind of cool. I'm definitely not, like, I can't wait. But I think the cast is enough, and I love Aaron Eckhart. And I really wish we would have seen more of him as Two-Face. Because I just think he was so great as that character, and that was kind of a wasted opportunity.
As great as Dark Knight was, it kind of had a little bit of Mandarin syndrome, where it was the marketing of the Dark Knight promised a lot of Two-Face. We saw a lot of Two-Face in the marketing, and very little Two-Face in the movie, which is one of the few critiques I would have.
I actually think they should have shown less of him. I wish the movie had cut off and set up Two-Face to be the villain for the next movie.
Sure, I just wish he was better used.
Yeah. It was a wasted opportunity. He was great, too.
All right, let's go on. Let's keep going down the line here. Where'd my calendar go? There it is. So we get into January 28th now. Two films, That Awkward Moment. Look, a new comedy, Zac Efron, Michael B. Jordan, and
Miles Teller.
And Miles Teller, thank you very much, who may end up being your next Mr. Fantastic.
I think he's wonderful.
I like him very much. I just don't want him in Fantastic Four. I just don't think he's a good match for Fantastic Four, but I think he's a very good comedic actor.
What about Michael B. Jordan? Apparently both of them are being...
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan is remarkable. And apparently,
I love him.
rumors are going around that he's going to be Johnny Storm. I got to tell you, in premise, this movie looks ridiculous. Trailers made me laugh. I can't deny it. I didn't want the trailers to make me laugh because I thought the movie sounded dumb. But I watched the trailers. They make me laugh. I want to see it. The other one there
I want to see it too.
Is Labor Day, the next film from
Jason Reitman.
Fellow good Canadian boy.
Of course you say that. I've heard
Jason
very
Reitman.
mixed things about this film. I mean, the premise
About
itself
Labor Day here.
is kind of funny, how this convicted killer, basically forces them to let him stay in their house and then they fall in love. I'm telling you this all from the trailer, so I'm not giving anything. I haven't seen it. The premise is so outrageous. Let's forget you're a killer. Let's fall in love.
Well, it seems like something we've kind of seen before in other movies.
What comes to mind?
Stockholm Syndrome
Stockholm
stuff, yeah.
Syndrome.
But I think that the trailer gives even more away. I think the trailer suggests he's a man convicted of murder who was probably innocent, and his good-hearted
guilty.
Nature, she sees into his true heart.
Well,
and
we
they
all love
fall
them
in
bad
love.
boys, so he probably did it.
We all love the bad boy.
It should be interesting just to see Jason Reitman take on a different tone
Yeah.
of movie
Yeah.
because even the movies that he's done in the past that were kind of serious, that up in the air, there's still a lot of comedic elements to it. Where this one looks straight like this is a drama and serious. So.
And I love him as a director. I think he has, a lot to say, and his films are laced with a lot of political and social undertones, and I respect that. I just have not been hearing good things from people I usually identify with.
Terrible name.
Yeah.
Bad
Labor
name
Day.
for Labor Day is a bad name for a
Doesn't
movie.
it sound like it's
But I still wanna see it.
a rom-com?
Something like that, yes. And I keep forgetting, did Reitman direct Young Adult?
Yes.
And
Okay, he did.
Juno.
And Juno, and Thank You for Smoking.
He's an amazing
and Up in the
director.
Air. He's 4 for 4 as far as I'm concerned.
I definitely still want to see it.
So, but it's got Josh Brolin, who, like I said, for me is not doing it for me.
He's a good
but
actor.
I haven't seen it yet.
He's a good actor.
All right, let's go on we're now on to February 4th. And on February 4th, we're looking at a couple of films here. We're looking at Monuments Men. George Clooney, Matt Damon.
I definitely forgot about that one.
Just a huge, great, fantastic cast. I'm dying to see this movie.
It looks good.
I think it looks
They
good.
delayed it, and then hopefully...
Which is never usually a good thing.
No, but I mean, it was already a packed Christmas. I think they probably was there were so many movies that came out and bombed during Christmas that I think it was the right move.
It's interesting because I've seen two very distinctive trailers. One that made it look like a comedy, and one that made it look much more serious.
Yes, there's
what
been a
tone
lack of
is it?
identity with the marketing. Absolutely. I'm still dying to see this. I think
Cast
it's a
is
great
phenomenal.
premise.
Kate Blanchett, you add her in anything I'm in.
Then also opening up against it on February 7th. I said 4th before, but it's actually February 7th. Opening up against Monuments Men is the Lego Movie.
Yes.
I'm excited. I got to tell you, I thought this was a stupid concept. I thought it was, and then the first trailer came out. Sold me. I thought the first trailer was great. Now I'm totally sold. I'm all in. I'm all in on Lego. I'm all in on Lego 2. I'm all in on Lego the Fantasy Adventures. I'm all in on anything Lego wants to do in the movies. I'm all in now.
Phil Lord, I mean, all of these guys, we talked to them at Comic-Con, and honestly, I was kind of like, okay, the Lego Movie, of course, we've all grown up on them, whatever, but they got me excited about it.
And Chris Pratt, again, in a lead role. I mean, he's not. It's not a live action, but he's doing the voice for the
And they
lead role.
directed 21 Jump Street, so obviously they know.
The same directors of 21 Jump Street.
Doing
that directed,
22.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, which I thought was a delightful.
So
delightful film. So I think there's a good reason to have a lot of hope for this. All right, now we're getting into February 14th, which I believe is
Valentine's Day.
Yes, Valentine's Day. The Dear God, Please Let Me Have Some Human-to-Human Contact Day.
I don't believe in that holidays. Don't worry, gentlemen.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got
But
5
I am a lover.
films.
I'm a lover.
5 films opening on Valentine's Day. One is Winter's Tale, which I believe is the Colin Farrell.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I'm on the fence right now.
Trailer looks cheesy to me.
Yeah, looks awful.
Cheesy.
We're still a little ways away. We're still a month and a half away from it. I think we're going to see more marketing from it. So
I love
iffy on it
Rebecca
right now.
Hall. I love Colin
Rebecca
Farrell.
Hall.
And I love Jennifer Connelly. So the cast is great, but the premise looks kind of ridiculous.
The hot young daughter from Downton Abbey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's I believe the main love interest in it.
Yes.
I think the concept sounds interesting. There's an immortality thing going on here. It's tough to judge on execution from a trailer, but you're right. The trailers we've seen so far, which has only been one, has some work to do.
Yeah.
It's given us the concept. Give me a little bit more meat so I can kind of wrap my head around, okay, what's this about?
Yeah.
And then maybe we can make a better judgment on it. Also opening up that same day, I know the one Dennis is on his top 5 of the year list that he's in for too. Vampire Academy.
Oh yeah.
Miss Chrisley Kennedy really wants to see that. We miss you,
Yes, she
Chrisley.
does.
Wish you were here.
Once again, this is. I don't like the trailers, but I'm not the demographic this movie was made for. So anything I have to say about Vampire Academy is completely irrelevant. What do you guys think about?
The latest
potential?
The latest trailer was better. It wasn't great, but it was better because they kind of sold this Mean Girls vibe, and it's the director from Mean Girls. So
Right.
I wasn't buying the lead actress quite at all. She was kind of doing a wannabe Ellen Page thing, and so I wasn't completely sold on that. But I don't think I'm going to see it.
I'm not going to see it. Sorry.
I will see it.
Okay, if you tell us it's good, then I'll go see it.
I wouldn't hold my breath if that's going to happen.
And I
I'm gonna
love
see it.
vampires. I do. I'm not completely over it. I don't need to see another teen vampire movie. I just don't. But maybe if it's good,
But
I'll have an open mind.
if you say it's funny, then
Yeah.
I'll be more
And
inclined
I
to
think
see
they're
it.
taking that approach now, which is very smart. So
Here's the one thing Weinstein's got to be worried about.
nothing. He owns the world.
The failure of City of Bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to worry them because that's the market.
Yeah.
And maybe people are over it, but who knows? Maybe this will be one of those films that really surprises us and turns out to be a great little cult classic. Let's see what happens. All right, the third film also opening on Valentine's Day, a true Valentine's romance movie, RoboCop.
Yes. That's the one I rather see
Are
out
they
of
trying to
all
follow
of
that
these.
Die Hard? You remember Die Hard released on Valentine's Day last year?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I wonder if they're trying to copy that.
It didn't do bad. Die Hard financially did not do all that bad on its opening weekend
No.
for Valentine's. It's great counter programming, right? It's kind of like you put out a romantic comedy on the same day that Lord of the Rings is coming out because you put out a counter programming to it that could scoop in some stuff. And you go anti-romance. You go out with a thing like RoboCop. And I think it's not a bad move. I hated the first trailer. Oh, no, I'm thinking of something else. I didn't mind the first trailer. I quite like the second trailer. I don't know how well RoboCop... Look, I'm all for remakes. I'm all for remakes.
You are.
But I do not know how well RoboCop translates to now. In a world where so much of that sci-fi ain't so sci-fi anymore. So I'm not really sure. But the trailers have had some upside. So I'm going to go into it with an open mind and pretty curious, to be honest. I'm curious to see what they're going to give us.
Especially out of all these films, if I'm going to see a film on Valentine's Day, it's going to be RoboCop. I just, we're always very divided on the remake camp. Sure, it doesn't hurt the original, but I still rather explore fresh ideas. I know a lot of people don't support those fresh ideas, but as a writer, I'm still holding on to it, that we can make them and people will want to see them and support a new concept and not just remaking a concept that worked with a built-in audience already there, and also a bunch of haters that don't want to see it. So it's very divided, but I will have an open mind. The cast is fantastic. I mean, Gary Oldman in anything, I feel like he picks really good projects.
Keaton.
Michael Keaton. So yeah, I mean, it looks fine.
I like Joel Kinnaman, too.
I like Joel Kinnaman too. It looks fine. I just can't say I'm like, yes. But you're right. The last trailer was a lot better.
Did you see Joel Kinnaman with Olivia Munn? They were at the UFC fight.
Oh, yes,
They
that's right.
cut to him.
That's right.
Apparently they're dating.
All right. The last two films, 5 films opening up on Valentine's. One is the new Alex Pettyfer. I believe it's the remake of Endless Love.
It is.
I haven't seen a trailer for it.
I have.
Really?
Yeah, I
see
haven't.
it all the time.
Yeah, it's really pushing
I have
out
not,
hard.
so I have no input on this.
Okay, he is a good-looking man. We're gonna give
absolutely
him that.
he
is a good-looking man. I don't know, like he's a fine actor. He always kind of gives this pompous air out to him, which I think is probably just him. But no, I don't need to see this movie.
The best thing about that trailer is that slow cover of Robert Palmer's Addicted to Love.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I love when they do that.
Yeah,
Music
that's the best part of the
really-
trailer.
Yeah.
And the last
he is
one
sexy.
opening up is About Last Night, directed by Stephen Pink, I believe, Kevin Hart, Michael Ealy.
How many movies is Kevin Hart in the last year?
He's
Pumping them out.
He's like
Regina Hall, Joe Bryan, Christopher McDonald, Paula Patton. Steve Pink is directing it. Another romantic comedy. I think it looks cute.
Paula is a babe, but I'm just not sold on her acting chops yet. But she is a gorgeous woman, very intelligent, has an Ivy League education, but I just don't think she's a great actress yet.
You want to see more of Paula Patton, watch Two Guns.
Oh,
was she good in that?
Oh, I'm not saying
No.
good. If you want to see more.
Yeah.
And by more,
Even
I mean...
in Ghost Pro, is she naked?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Good for you, Paula. But Ghost Protocol, still, like, she was fine because she's absolutely stunning. But again, I'm not sold on her acting chops yet. We'll see.
All right, so we're moving off Valentine's Day now, and we are moving into February 21st. And on February 21st, we have 2 films. One, Pompeii.
Kit Harington.
Kit Harington and 24 Boy, good Canadian kid, Kiefer
Sutherland, yeah.
Star in that. Intrigued. Sword and sandal and stuff like that kind of stuff intrigues me. It's selling me on the concept.
There's no full trailer yet, though, right? It's just a teaser?
I think it's like a minute-long
like
teaser.
photos.
Yeah, but it doesn't really show much.
No, not a lot yet. But so I'm interested. And then one that I'm very interested in, we already talked about, the Kevin Costner 3 Days to Kill.
Yeah.
I love the trailer.
I thought it was a good trailer.
It did feel like a Liam Neeson film.
It did.
Very, very much.
But Amber Heard, damn girl, she's never looked hotter.
Yeah. She looked.
We have a lot of beautiful babes in this industry, as I've just pointed out.
Amber Heard, I believe she's never looked better than in that film she did with Nicolas Cage.
Drive Angry.
Oh, yeah?
She looked just scrumptious in that movie. Anyway.
Did you ever see that film that was a little less known, Keeping Up with the Joneses? With Demi Moore, David Duchovny.
David Duchovny.
And Amber Heard.
Yeah.
That was a really good movie.
It was a cute little... I don't know that it ever got wide release.
No, and again, it was all about consumerism and like where we're at, and Amber Heard was really good in that movie.
Who played the son?
I don't remember.
I can't remember
I remember
either.
those 3, though, but it was good.
Okay, so moving on now to February 28th.
We're only to February.
February 28th is from Paramount. We've got Welcome to Yesterday, which I know nothing about.
Me either.
And I just let me open up IMDb for it.
But it's sci-fi.
Welcome to, there we go. Welcome to Yesterday, and it stars Sir Major, Ginny Gardner, Sophia Blackdelia, Amy Lackner, John West. I really don't know anything about the film. A group of discovered. Oh, I know the film it's talking about now. It's kind of a time travel. I saw one trailer for this. It's kind of a time travel movie.
Oh,
where they realize they can go back. I think initially they can travel back in time 4 hours, and then as they do it more and more, they can go further and further back. But it's almost got like a butterfly effect thing.
And
where
it's
things
shot
start
in the Chronicle style.
Yes,
Project
the
X.
found footage Chronicle style.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That actually looks intriguing to me.
Potential. I think the film's got potential.
Yeah.
But I am getting very, very tired. I have been for a long time with the found footage. Chronicle was the one exception, but the found footage stuff is really starting to tire me. Also opening on February 28th is Son of God, which is a biblical narrative. I cannot tell you any of the actors who are in, but it's being released by Fox. And of course, then there is Nonstop, which is basically
Red Eye meets
Speed.
Is this the one with
Liam Neeson?
Oh,
in a plane. And then they think he's the terrorist. I just saw the trailer for the first time. Like, I forget what movie I was in. I've seen so many of these last month. But no. I love you, Liam Neeson. But no. This movie looks really cheesy.
He just keeps making Taken in different
really
scenarios.
Cheesy.
Why not? They work.
Sidetrack, since we have 24 hours to talk. I finally saw The Grey.
Oh, that's a great
I
film.
haven't seen
it before?
No,
Really
and
good.
honestly, I heard mixed things, and I went in just thinking, because
Really heard
man
mixed things?
versus wolf, like, you're just like, huh? And I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
was.
that's excellent. I've never
Really
heard mixed things.
good.
I've heard nothing but really
Yeah.
good.
When I was at
Mostly
IGN, there were a lot of people that actually walked out of it, which was weird. But
What?
yeah.
I
First
did
10
get
minutes.
scared at the
Yeah.
airplane scene, but that was just because of my fear.
That was terrifying.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it was terrifying. But it was just like survival. I feel like those survival tales just really, really like
Frank
people
Grillo
get
was in
it.
it?
Yes, and Dermot Mulroney,
Yeah.
and I just thought the acting was on par. Visually is gorgeous. The end, I'm not going to give it away, was surprising and awesome, and I was really taken aback by that.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I really
That was
liked
great.
it. Yeah, Liam's great, but
right.
we don't need you on an airplane.
Let's move on. We are now into the month of March. In March 2004, on March the 7th, we've got 2 films. Mr. Peabody and Sherman. It doesn't appeal to me, but it looks like it could have potential.
I'll probably,
It looks
The
interesting to
trailer's
me.
interesting. It's got some cute moments in the
I'll
trailer.
probably take my nephew.
And also one that I go back and forth on, from couldn't care less about it to really excited about it. Right now, I'm very excited about it, which is 300 Rise of an Empire.
The trailer was awesome.
It was good.
Yeah.
The newest trailer is good.
And Eva Green and the tone set by Zack Snyder.
And
I think it looks good. Lena Headey.
Yeah.
It's funny because at CinemaCon last year in April, they showed us some footage, and I remember I did not like what I saw at all. It didn't do anything to inspire me. And then I started seeing the trailers coming out, and all of a sudden I was like, damn, actually putting it in context now, this looks pretty darn good. Mm-hmm. And I go back and forth between don't care to being really excited. Right now, you happen to catch me on a day where I'm really excited about it. All right.
Grand Budapest Hotel, which I already mentioned. Wes Anderson, love you. That's in February.
Yeah, that's going to be a limited release, smaller film.
But it deserves lots of eyeballs.
We're getting into now March 14th. 3 films opening on March 14th. One, Tyler Perry's The Single Moms Club. Don't really know anything about it at this point.
You do. The Single Moms Club. You know everything about it.
Grace of Monaco, which I believe is a biography, a biopic.
Oh, Nicole Kidman plays Grace Kelly.
Right.
Yeah.
The one interesting thing about it, though, is that I was just thinking about him the other day, Tim Roth. Tim Roth, he kind of flies under the radar a lot.
I love him.
And I love Tim Roth.
I think wasn't the last huge movie he did the Planet of the Apes, the Tim Burton one?
No, he was also Abomination in the Hulk film.
That's right.
And I thought he was really good in that. I thought he was wonderful in that, as a matter of fact. And then he had that TV show, that Lie to Me show,
which I heard was pretty good.
I've heard it was really good, but nobody watched it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it either. I liked it, ever since Reservoir Dogs.
Oh yeah.
So.
Okay, for those of you, I'm going to take a quick thing here. For those of you just joining us, we are doing our 24-hour marathon here. Right now, we are talking about the films. We're running down the release schedule of 2014. And listen, the reason we are doing this 24-hour film marathon, or movie talk marathon, I should say, is to raise awareness and to raise money for the disaster in the Philippines and the victims there. The most powerful typhoon in recorded history hit that country and caused a lot of devastation. And a lot of people are in a lot of need there. And we need your help. They need your help. We're encouraging everybody to, as we do this marathon, for you to go to this URL you see here, www.crowdrise.com/AMC Movie News Philippines. Go there and click Donate Now and leave a donation and help change a lot of people's lives. Our original goal, I'm going to check on it now. Our original goal was to raise $3,000. That was our goal. We have already raised, I'm going to bring up the new amount here. We have now raised $12,226.
Woo-wee!
Thank you guys
you.
so much. We have raised $12,265 thanks to you guys and what you are doing to change lives. Thank you so much, guys, for making these donations. This is just awesome. So as we continue to do the show, please continue to jump in there and donate. You are making a difference. So, with that being said, let's get back to the movies of 2014. We are still on March 14th. The last film that is opening on March 14th is the new video game adaptation, probably very loosely based on the video game, Need for Speed. What do you guys think of this one? Of course, starring Breaking Bad's Aaron Paul. What do you guys think of what we've seen from this so far?
I mean, I'll probably check out just for Aaron Paul. The doesn't look like there's really much story to it. The action sequences, the racing sequences might be pretty cool to check out. So it's
I gotta tell you, they look awesome in the trailer.
So to me, it's more of a curiosity thing of why I'm interested in seeing it.
Aaron Paul is just such an amazing actor. I mean, even Breaking Bad still remains probably my favorite show of all time. Everything about those characters. But Scott Waugh, he's a really good director. And I know he hasn't done a ton of films, but the fact that he was a stuntman and, Act of Valor and gets up close and personal. And I'm perhaps a little biased because I did go on set and I have spoken to them. And, you always tease me about passion because I'm a very passionate person. But there's a difference between selling a movie and really believing in it. Mm-hmm. People that are part of the production, I can tell. I mean, I can definitely tell when it's just sales talk or when it's like, this is it. And like, they really got in there. The difference between Fast and the Furious and all these other car films is that all of this is real. Like, it's all completely real. So that element, you can really feel it. And I saw 20 minutes of the film already, and I'm telling you, like, it's just really clean and it's beautifully shot, and the whole ensemble looks great, led by Aaron Paul. Michael Keaton's in it. I mean, I am excited about this, and the fact that it's based on Need for Speed, which has very little narrative, is a great thing because they can do so many other things with it. So I do have hopes for this, not high hopes because I'm trying to keep a manage, but I do think it's going to be interesting, and from everything I've seen, it looks good. So, and Aaron Paul, you are so talented.
Completely ridiculous concept for a movie. I rolled my eyes the moment I heard they were making a Need for Speed, and I really didn't care that they cast Aaron Paul, though I like Aaron Paul.
But Fast and the Furious was on your favorite top 20 list, and that has a better plot.
I saw the movie, but I saw the movie, and it was awesome. Now, don't forget, I hate the first three Fast and Furious movies. Hey, I think they're terrible. And when I heard a Need for Speed and what they were describing, it sounded like one of the first three Fast and Furious movies. Then I saw the trailer. And I'm not going to say I'm jumping up and down out of my seat for it, but I'm going to say that seeing that trailer brought me on board. Mm-hmm. I'm on board with it. I think the action sequences and the driving looks impressive. And I can't wait to see more. And it looks like they do have a little bit of a story in there. And it'll be interesting to see how Aaron Paul transitions. Once again, TV stars can't transition to movies very well. We'll see if Aaron Paul can become one of the guys that can. I'm cheering for him because I think he's a really cool dude. If you haven't seen it yet, go on YouTube. This is one of the best videos you'll watch on YouTube all week. I absolutely guarantee you. Go onto YouTube and search for Aaron Paul, Price is Right. It is one of the funniest, best things you will ever watch. Have you seen this video, Amy Rose?
No.
I saw it a
Really?
long time
No,
ago.
I haven't.
I saw it a long time ago.
Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No, but I could piece it together. Aaron Paul, Price is Right.
But
it was before he was famous.
Yes, and it's Aaron Paul, and I saw him do an interview about his appearance on there. He said that they like loaded him up with like all this Red Bull.
Oh, God.
And so just imagine Aaron Paul, but like on like 5 or 6 Red Bulls.
Yeah, nobody knew who he was. Like, nobody knew who Aaron Paul was at the time. He wasn't a famous actor or anything like that. And when they call his name, he like comes running down on one leg, woo! And he gets on stage and he wins. And it's one of the funniest things you'll ever see on YouTube. It's incredible. Look it up, Aaron Paul.
I can't wait. So we actually went when I was in college to The Price is Right when Bob Barker was still orchestrating,
awesome.
And my friend got picked, and it was outrageous. It was such a fun experience.
Price is wrong, Bob. All right. Let's move on to now March 21st. And March 21st, we have Divergent. What are you guys thinking about Divergent? Because we've got... the young lady's name, Shailene Woodley.
I love
who's
her.
Of course going to be our new Mary Jane, probably in Amazing Spider-Man 3.
I don't know if that's.
I think she. I think she still
really?
is. Yeah. I think they just moved the entire character out of part 2.
Huh. We'll see.
And once again, it's the young adult novel kind of phenomenon. They cannot be happy with what happened with City of Bones.
No.
But I mean, Shailene's a good little actor. I like Maggie Q. Kate Winslet is in it. Jai Courtney's in it. I like Jai Courtney. Potential?
The poor man's Bruce Willis.
I wish the trailer was better. I mean, I think it has potential, but the trailer did not sell me on it. How about you? We all love sci-fi genre in here, and I do think that the concept is interesting. The trailer was fine. I wasn't like, oh God, this is going to suck, but I also wasn't like, yes, I'm in. But I do think that the premise is pretty cool about, all the different factions that people can fall into, and her kind of defying that. It's like Harry Potter. Like
Kinda.
Hufflepuff and Gryffindor. And
Slytherin. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But I do think Shailene Woodley is a phenomenal little actor, as you put it, John. And I thought Descendants, she starred opposite George Clooney and completely held her own. I haven't really seen the TV show she was famous from.
It's like My Secret Life or teenager,
whatever. But I am excited to see her, what else she can do. She was amazing in The Spectacular now.
I still need to see that.
Oh, you need to see that. It was definitely great. James Ponsoldt, great director.
He was very nice when he came in studio.
He was the best. One of my favorite interviews of the year still.
Some people in the chat boards are asking me, wait a minute, why did you skip over Veronica Mars? One, because the movie's going to suck. But besides that...
I don't think it's going to suck.
No, it's on his one of his... Well, no, honestly, the real reason I skipped over it, is because we are only covering, there are 500-600 movies coming out this year. We are only addressing those scheduled to get a wide release. And as of right now, Veronica Mars is not scheduled.
It's
going to
remain limited. It's only for the sake of saying that they had it in the theaters.
Yeah,
that's basically. What
and then they'll go right to video.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
After
exactly.
That. Yeah. So we are not. If we were going to talk about every single small release film
we'd be
on
here
the schedule,
forever.
we'd be here all day. We would literally be here all day.
John, we are here all day.
Technically, we really
Yes.
are, but we wouldn't be able to talk about anything else.
Yeah, I think people would get upset if we kept going on and on about.
Yeah, about that. And so right now, Veronica Mars is not scheduled to have a wide release.
One we did
theaters.
miss that is a wide release is people were in the chat room saying Lone Survivor comes out, I think, this week.
Oh, that's right, because it got shifted, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
That's why it's not on the schedule I have, because it was a shifted release date. That's
Peter
right.
Berg directed,
Yeah,
who I'm
Peter
a
Berg,
fan
Mark
of.
Wahlberg, not Kit Harington.
Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch,
Emil Hirsch.
The old Hulk.
Ben Foster.
Yeah, we just talked about this
Eric
with Gray,
Bana.
and she said it was phenomenal. And I really wanted to see it, but there's been so many depressing movies that I honestly know that I mean, we know. It's called The Lone Survivor. We know what's going to happen here.
Spoiler.
So, spoiler alert. But yeah, I know it's going to be phenomenal. I do love these kind of films. When we did get the screening, it was the day after I saw 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, yeah,
and I was like, I can't do another one right now. I need a moment to breathe. But I am really looking forward to that. I know you are too.
Yeah, I like Peter Berg.
Me too.
All right, so let's move back then to March 21st. Another film we got is the Joe Carnahan film Stretch.
Oh, yes.
With Ed Helms.
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson,
I love
thank you
him.
very much. I don't know much about Stretch. I think isn't it about a limo?
I have no idea. I just like Joe Carnahan, who did The Gray as well.
Do us a favor, guys, on the chat board. If you know more about Stretch, because I don't have it clicking in my head, fire it off in the chat board. Dennis has got his eye on the chat board. So if you know more about Stretch, throw it the basic idea in one line or less. Go ahead and throw it in there. The other film, the third film that is opening on that day, which is March 21st, is the one I'm really looking forward to, Muppets Most Wanted.
Oh, I'm so excited about that.
I love the first Muppets film
Me too.
that came out the other year.
James
I
Bobbin.
thought it was so funny, and I thought they're going to blow the second one. You can't repeat that.
No.
But I got to tell you, the trailer
It's
looks
great.
hilarious.
And it's the returning director, which is always a good sign,
Yes.
to keep the vibe. And all the cameos. Tina Fey as a feisty prison guard. Get out of here. Ty Burrell, Interpol. I mean, all of these. Ricky Gervais is number 2. I mean, it looks charming. It looks beautifully shot. And who doesn't love the Muppets? They have just continued with me pretty much all my life. And they've crossed generations. And I'm really excited about this film.
It is unfortunate that we don't have Jason Segel coming back
Yeah.
for this.
I
That's
loved
unfortunate.
Amy
but-
Adams and Jason Segel.
Yeah.
They were great together.
But it's the stars of the Muppets are the Muppets, so it is okay that they're moving on from that. Has anybody said anything about Stretch in the chat board,
Someone
Dennis?
said, I think, Colin says, I think it's about a limo driver having a bad day.
Yeah, that's what I've got in my head too. What it is? Okay. And just
You
so
guys are
know,
awesome.
As we get later and later into the year here, we're going to come across more and more movies that we really don't know much about yet, because not much has been announced about it, not much marketing has gone on about them yet, and so we're going to come across those too. But one that we do know a lot about, the first one made my worst films of the year list, but A Haunted House 2 on March 28th.
I don't know why you torture yourself and watch those movies, John.
Because you never know. Maybe one will be
John.
good.
You know.
I just, wow.
We're past the days of Airplane and all the great spoofs that existed.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, Haunted House 2, but you never know. They do have an audience, and some people find them really funny. And
If
that's
they make
awesome.
money, they're going to make another
And
one.
they made money.
Yeah.
I mean, in box office terms, they didn't make much money, but they only spent like $3 million to make the film, so why not? The other one that's getting a lot of people talking for good and bad reasons is the new Aronofsky film, Noah.
Noah, yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm a sucker for big biblical epics. I'm a sucker for Aronofsky. I think Russell Crowe is one of the finest
You have
actors.
a man crush on him.
I have a man crush on Russell Crowe, one of the finest actors I think who's ever lived. Jennifer Connelly, Emma Watson, Anthony Hopkins, Logan Lerman, Ray Winstone.
Stacked cast.
But something does not feel right about it. It's on one of my most anticipated of the year. but I'm a little nervous about it. What
But
do you
it's
guys think about it?
Aronofsky.
But it's
so
Aronofsky, yeah.
I have faith in his vision. The only thing I'm worried about is that, I mean, because it is a biblical epic, there's always going to be controversy.
Oh, yeah.
That's just what happens. No matter you touch that subject matter, some people are going to love it, some are going to hate it. But Aronofsky is such a distinctive filmmaker with such an unusual and gifted style that I really trust him here. And I thought the trailer was cool. And Emma Watson, I loved her. Perks of Being a Wallflower, one of the most outstanding performances of last year, and I just think it looks solid.
I love Aronofsky. The trailer I thought was solid.
It was solid,
but it
wasn't like, wow.
But as an Aronofsky fan, I
Yeah.
was expecting more from the trailer.
Yeah.
I was expecting to see the trailer and go, "Oh my god, I've got to see this!" But it definitely wasn't.
But as I think about it, I don't think I've ever had an Aronofsky trailer come out and make me go, "Oh my god, I've got to see this." Trailer didn't do it for me.
Huh.
I love Black
was
Swan, but
really
the trailer
into it.
didn't do it for me. I mean,
I think with those though, there was at least something, I guess maybe like more different about. Like when I see the Noah trailer, like a lot of it seems like stuff you've seen in other movies before, So I'm looking for something a bit different, especially for something that's been told many, many, many times.
Yeah. So we see the chat board. There's a lot of people asking for Schnepp. God, we love that man. He is en route. He will be on soon to answer your questions.
yeah.
So fear not.
Remember, folks, we got 24 hours here that we got to do. So we are rotating people in and out. Erin is going to be back at, I think she's come back at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because we're going right through till 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So Schnepp is going to swing in here. I believe he's going to be on from 4 to 4. He's going to take a break in there for a couple hours too. But basically, he's coming in at 4 this afternoon.
And a couple other cameos, maybe.
And maybe a couple other people sticking their nose in. We will see. So, and then, I'm sure Dennis will come and go. Amy Rose will come and go. We have a lot of us coming and going. And we will go from there. All right, let's keep rolling here. Sorry, I got my voice. We're rolling now into our, what is it, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're rolling into our 7th hour now. My voice is starting to crumble. So hang in there with me, guys. Where do we leave off? Okay, now we're on April. We've all come all the way to April.
In an hour.
April 4th. Captain America Winter Soldier. I cannot wait. I'm
too.
super excited
Me
for
too.
this. I love the first Captain America. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I really like Chris as Captain America. I like the new directors they've got in.
The Russos.
The trailer is killer. Love the trailer for Captain America. I'm so stoked for this.
And I love the unlikely pairing of Black Widow with Cap because they both have
Right.
such different moral codes, and I think that's going to be really awesome. And I really like Scarlett Johansson as that role. And yeah, the Russos are a great duo, and I think that it's going to be great. Not to mention Falcon.
Anthony Mackie is Falcon.
Oh my god! And I love Bucky Barnes' storyline, and there's so many really rich, amazing characters in this film. So I'm really excited about it.
While I liked the first
And Crossbones.
first
Ooh.
Captain America, I did think the ending was disappointing. I kind of checked out of the movie in the last 20 or 30 minutes. And so while I liked it, I didn't like it as much as the other Marvel movies. And I was kind of worried about this one, but then I saw the trailer. And I thought the trailer really showed off. Yeah, really showed off. A new, because the other one was in the past and this is in present day, and so I'm actually really excited for it
Me
now.
too.
All right, so now we move on to March 11th. Yes, March 11th. And we got a couple interesting ones here. We've got Rio 2, the animated Birds film. I haven't seen enough from it to really.
I didn't care
I
for
saw
the
one
trailer.
quick teaser trailer. Didn't impress me, but it was
I
just
laughed
the first teaser.
once.
Yeah,
I think
me
in that
too.
trailer.
The ending of it.
Yeah.
Then we've got Sabotage, which I don't know anything about.
No, Sabotage. Isn't Sabotage the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes, I'm
It's
interested.
Sam Worthington. What's her name? Mariel Anyways, the girl from The Killing, that show The Killing. She was in World War Z.
Right. Olivia Williams,
Who
Josh
else?
Holloway is in it. Terrence Howard's in it.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good.
I think it does look pretty good,
But I mean, it
actually.
does definitely look like one of those 90s, 80s action movies.
Yeah.
Right, which I think Arnold does great.
Yeah.
And I think he still continues to do those great. We've got St. Vincent, which, again, I don't know much from. It's Naomi Watts, Melissa McCarthy, Chris O'Dowd. I love Chris O'Dowd. I first really took notice of Chris O'Dowd in Bridesmaids. As the love interest for
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig. I thought he was really funny. I thought he had a great small
He's
bit
great.
funny part in Thor 2. Yeah. He's got that TV show on HBO. I think he's just a really, really funny dude.
Me too.
So that's I don't know anything about it other than that, but I'm interested because you got Naomi Watts and Melissa McCarthy,
yeah.
Bill Murray, Terrence Howard. Yeah, I'm on board. This sounds pretty cool. All right, and then we also got Draft Day, another sports movie. Kevin Costner,
Love sports movies.
directed by Jason Reitman's dad, Ivan Reitman. It's also got Jennifer Garner, who is the love of my life. She just doesn't know it yet. Dennis Leary, Frank Langella, Chadwick Boseman is in it. P. Diddy is in it, and it's a sports movie with Kevin Costner, and it's about football.
I'm in.
It's about the behind the scenes stuff.
Yes.
You know, all the wheeling and dealing behind the scenes. And it's
I'm
all really going to come down to like whatever miraculous, crazy trade thing that happens on the final day.
And we already talked about For Love of the Game, another sports movie that Costner was in, and he was fantastic in it. And he actually knows how to play sports, which I really appreciate when they do that with actors who are actually talented in that.
Well,
you
he's
know,
been in a bunch of sports
exactly.
movies.
It's just so funny to me when they get like a film with music incorporated in it and they dub the voice. It's just like there's actually people that can do it all. So why don't you look there instead of like anywho, tangent.
All right, I have to tag out
Aw.
for a bit. I'm gonna have to give my voice about a 15-minute break here.
Okay.
So Amy Rose, I'm gonna invite you
Tagging
over.
in.
Amy Rose is gonna come over, tag in, and basically just run down this when you get to the end. Just click to the next month.
Back adjusting for the Hobbit, as you call
adjusting
me.
the Hobbit camera. There we go.
Dennis, move back.
Oh, you want me to move over?
Or she's, yeah. You just feel so far.
All right.
Okay. Hey guys, me again. Let's see. Bears documentary. I do love films about animales, so I'm kind of in, especially if it's claiming to be a documentary, which I think it's just going to be a real life look at cuddly and terrifying bears at that. Let's see. Transcendence. Now, we've talked about this. This is Wally Pfister, who, of course, is Christopher Nolan's very famous DP, who has been with him forever, who is so talented and amazing.
Yes.
Now, the trailers have been receiving kind of mixed reviews.
Yes.
There was one teaser and one trailer. What were your general thoughts?
I did not like the teaser at all because the teaser was nothing. And then the trailer, I watched it, and this is what I thought. I thought, this movie either is going to be fantastic or it's going to be like a colossal failure. Like it's going to bomb because of what the concept is. It's very like you have to buy into, kind of like with Her, Spike Jonze's Her.
Yeah.
You have to buy into that concept. And once you've bought in, then it'll be good. So Transcendence is one of those things. If he doesn't sell that concept of Johnny Depp going in and being in that machine,
Then it's not going to work for you.
yeah, well, I don't think it'll work for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to buy that. And maybe he'll do a good job, maybe he won't. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a very, on the line type of thing.
It's so funny. I definitely am obviously the optimist of the team. I'm just a lover, and I want to believe the best. But this cast, I mean,
I was waving.
Oh, cool. Johnny Depp, Kate Mara, who was amazing in House of Cards. I absolutely loved her in that. Rebecca Hall, Cillian Murphy, Paul Bettany. I mean, the cast is phenomenal.
Cast is great.
I am a huge sci-fi fan. I think Wally Pfister is so talented. I want to see him behind the lens in this capacity. So I do think it's going to be interesting, and I think that the premise alone is intriguing enough for me to give it the benefit of the doubt. But you're right. My biggest problem with a lot of sci-fi films is when they take too many liberties and they don't tie it up. Like I've said it many times on our shows that like I really give myself to cinema, and I'm okay sometimes when it's not perfectly tied together. Like Now You See Me, I enjoyed that. That was a fun time, But if there's too many holes, especially in a sci-fi film or like a time travel film, that's a little harder for me.
And it's also,
to give up.
tone is very important because something like Now You See Me, which I also enjoyed. I don't think I liked it as much as you, but I still enjoyed it. The tone of it was more fun
Playful,
and silly, and it wasn't trying to be serious. Transcendence, it is serious.
Yeah.
Like, you have to really get it nailed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it
I
will
agree.
fall apart.
I got the faith.
Yeah.
Without faith, we got nothing. Okay, let's see what else. I don't know what this is. Let's click on it. Heaven is for real.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
Randall Wallace directed it. Greg Kinnear, who I always love, and Kelly Riley. Cool. I know nothing, and there's no synopsis, so sorry. What else? Let's see. All right, moving on to the 25th. Walk of Shame. Now, this is the one with Elizabeth Banks and James Marsden and Gillian Jacobs. Steve Brill. I think she's like a reporter or something, and she's like walking across LA. I don't remember. We talked about this like a year ago.
I don't know exactly, but I mean, the Walk of Shame. I mean, people who went to college. What that term means,
We
I
all
don't
know what that means.
I don't know if that's what this is about, but
I hope so. I'm just kidding.
I'm guessing it is because that's what everyone associates it with. So
Yeah, I love Elizabeth Banks, and like she is so good. She's good at dramatic and comedy. Like, do you remember her little scene in Pitch Perfect?
Oh yeah,
Oh my God, she was amazing in that.
that movie was funny.
So funny, and as Effie in Hunger Games, she's funny and amazing. I love her. I'm hopeful of this. Let's see the other woman. Cameron Diaz, Leslie Mann, and Nick Cassavetes. Honestly, Cameron Diaz is a bit overrated to me. I think she peaked at The Mask, in my humble opinion. I definitely don't. I can't say just based on what I read. I'm too enticed by this. Nick Cassavetes definitely has talent, but are you enticed by this?
Not
Were you
really.
even listening to me?
Not really.
Okay, the quiet ones. I do love horror. Sam Claflin and Jared Harris. There's a lot of ones I have not heard of, but I am a horror movie junkie, so I will give this a go. Not to mention, I really like Sam Claflin. I thought he was decent in Snow White, even though he likes to tear him apart.
I don't tear him apart. He was just very forgettable. You can't.
But the role was forgettable.
Yes, it wasn't his fault why he didn't excel because the role didn't really have much
But
there.
I thought he was amazing as Finnick in Hunger Games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was one of my favorite parts.
Me too.
And I thought I was going to hate that character,
Yeah.
but I actually really
He was
liked
great.
that character.
Yeah, and you think he's just this like playboy flirt, and then you see more layers as the movie develops. So I thought he was really great. Okay, we're going to continue on now. I've been here for like 6 hours, so now the accents and weird voices are coming out. Okay.
And we haven't had any alcohol whatsoever.
No alcohol. What's up with that? We're weak.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing Spider-Man 2. May 2nd. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I like the trailer. There are some people who
Oh, wait,
didn't.
April.
Oh.
What's happening?
No. Are we in May?
May. Yeah.
Okay. I saw some complaints about the CG-ness of it. Some people don't know is like when they do the CG for trailers far in advance that most of the time the CG is not done yet. It's unfinished.
Yeah, exactly.
And that they're going to clean it up more and more. That doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It just means it'll get better. I mean, there are examples like Wolverine X-Men Origins where they weren't good in the trailer and they weren't good in the final product. Because remember that whole the whole movie got released a bootleg version online, and it had still had green screen and some unfinished visual effects. And then when the movie came out, I was like, okay, I thought you guys were gonna work on this.
Yeah, I definitely think that we can't really hold that to them. I mean, we've been seeing the evolution of the Rhino with all of this, and Paul Giamatti, I mean, he's just so freaking talented. Everything he does, he's just great. I finally saw Saving Mr. Banks as well, and his role in that too. He really can do everything. And Jamie Foxx as well. You know, when we talked to him at Comic-Con, I had a new appreciation for him as Max Dillon, as Electro, because he seemed to really understand the character, and he seems like he did a lot of research and really wanted to know the backstory and the evolution of him and how he eventually became Electro. So that made me really have faith in him in this character, because it's a really great character.
I have to say I'm not a fan of the voice, though.
No.
The voice that he's doing for Electro.
Yeah.
A little
We've
too
seen
much
it
of
happen too much.
it's too much of a put on, I guess, for me.
Yeah, but I love Andrew Garfield as Spidey. I really do. I think he's really shows something. And
I like him as an actor.
Me too. I think he's great. Social Network.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great. I do think that a lot of people are still always split on the Toby versus Andrew
I'm not
debate.
split.
I'm not split. I think Andrew is better, personally.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And then Dane DeHaan.
And then there's Dane DeHaan, who we've just sung his praises
Yes.
on the show, and he is just so phenomenal. Again, like when he was first cast as Harry Osborn, I do really like James Franco, and I thought he was a solid Harry. But I never questioned it for a second. If Dane is in a film, I have full trust, because literally there's not been one performance from Lawless to Place Beyond the Pines, Chronicle, everything he's done, he completely steals me, and he just steals the screen. I just think he's phenomenal, and he seems like he's going to be like a little more playful than James's Harry.
Yes.
Which I think is really cool. And I'm glad that Chris Cooper is in it, because that kind of explains why he maybe is going to take over as the Green Goblin a little faster, because Cooper looks like he's on his deathbed or something from the trailer.
Yeah, they actually kind of look like they could be related.
Oh, exactly. I
like
love when they do that.
Yeah, he looks like he could be his dad.
Yeah, and that's so important to me. It's just like, come on. So yeah, I could not be more excited about this. I love Mark Webb. I do wonder if they originally gave him the film because his last name is Webb. It's just too perfect. But I'm glad that I really like when a director does a good job staying with the franchise. Now we're moving on to... Let's see, Friday the 9th, Chef, Jon Favreau's film, which, everything I've heard about it sounds pretty cute. When I first read the synopsis about, he wants to, I guess he was in a restaurant and then he wants to start a food truck, which is so relevant because food trucks.
I love food trucks.
I love food trucks. Have just exploded in popularity this last, couple of years. But Sofia Vergara, who I love on Modern Family, Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey, obviously cashing in the Iron Man, and John Leguizamo, who we love.
Yeah, it looks solid. It's not one of my, I have to see this movie, but it's like, oh, this looks interesting. I'm definitely going to check it out.
Exactly. And then you have the new Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg comedy, Neighbors, releasing on the 9th. And, following This Is the End, I do have a lot of faith in them. That was, no question, my favorite comedy of the year. It's being directed by Nick Stoller, but they wrote it and produced it, I believe, and are starring in it. And Rose Byrne, she can do horror as seen in Insidious, and she can also do comedy as seen in Bridesmaids, but also get them to the Greek.
Oh, yeah.
She was so good as that diva. So I thought...
I have to say, I didn't like the trailer.
Really?
There was a couple funny parts in it.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the overall feel of it. But I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those... Like 21 Jump Street, I didn't really like the trailers either.
But it was awesome.
I have a feeling they're probably hiding the funnier stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And then we have Godzilla, of course, which we've talked about. And were not officially sold by the trailer, but we've been getting a lot of slack for that because, to me, a trailer is not the end-all be-all. It's not. If it's supposed to build excitement and awareness, so if it doesn't do that, that's one thing. But I'm excited about this movie. I just wasn't clear about the narration they took. Everyone thought it was because they didn't show a lot of Godzilla, of the actual monster, but that wasn't it. I really like less is more in trailers a lot. I don't want them to tell me the whole story. They do that too frequently. But the narration, to me, wasn't incredible. Did I think it was a bad trailer? No. But I wanted more. But again, it was a teaser, so we don't really know much
they released, they didn't release.
The first one we're talking about,
the leaked teaser one that was 90 seconds was better because they didn't really show all, but then this one they showed Aaron Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen and all that stuff. So
and our boy Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. So I still enjoyed the latest one. It wasn't as good as the first one, but I have a feeling they're gonna come out when it's closer to the date.
Yeah.
Something with more Godzilla and more action.
Yeah, and just so we're clear, just because the trailer did blow us away, we're both very excited about the movie.
Yeah,
so.
very, very. Especially after seeing Pacific Rim, I feel like, okay, now it's also under Legendary Pictures. They seem to know at least how to do that type of genre and take it seriously and do it well.
Yeah.
So I have high hopes for
Me
it.
too. So I just saw the trailer for this one releasing on the 16th, $million Arm.
Which one is that?
So John
Oh,
Hamm.
yeah.
I think it looks awesome.
It's a Disney movie.
It's a Disney movie, of course. It's going to be PG-13 or maybe
Yes.
PG. But I've said it many times, I'm a sucker for sports movies. But this is based on a true story. And as Disney likes to do, as most of the films right now do. And I think it looks like it has a lot of heart. And I love standing behind the underdogs. And that's what it looks like
I think it's going to be solid. I think it's going to be like The Rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I loved The Rookie.
Blindside, like those type of movies.
Yeah.
Miracle, which was about the 1980s U.S. hockey team. So I think it's going to fall under that, where I think I'm going to like it, enjoy it, but it's not going to be like my favorite movie of the year.
Did you ever see The Titans? I'm forgetting the...
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans? I love that freaking movie.
Hayden Panettiere was in that movie.
Yes, she was. And
the
Ryan
little girl.
Gosling, before a lot of people like he was who he is now. And so it was so good. Denzel. Love you, man. Yeah, I love sports movies. It's kind of funny how much I love them. Okay, continuing on. Okay, Friday the 23rd, Blended. That is the Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore movie that I think looks really bad.
I saw the trailer. Not interested.
No, pass. And I loved Wedding Singer. I actually thought 50 First Dates was pretty charming, but this premise just sounds so outrageous. I'm just not into it.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things where you give enough passes to someone like Adam Sandler, and eventually you run out. Like you're like, oh, here's a pass, and then
You didn't love Jack and Jill?
I didn't watch Jack and Jill.
I didn't watch
that
it
looked,
either.
that looked like a movie they made up as a spoof. That they decided to make a spoof movie, kind of like remember in Tropic Thunder they had those fake trailers.
Yes, and they were amazing.
They were hilarious because they were making fun of it. That looks like a movie based off a fake spoof trailer.
That actually is a really good point. I loved Tropic Thunder. That was so good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite comedies.
Oh, I love it. Okay, next we have X-Men Days of Future Past.
Oh yeah.
Who's gonna win that one, Blended or X-Men? Same
gee.
Friday. Oh look, the
slide
Canadian
back
is
in.
back.
All right.
Dennis, why don't you slide over, grab that middle microphone on?
All right. He said it's on its way.
Steps on his way.
Cool.
He just texted me.
Oh yeah, I got that.
All right.
All right, so we were just talking about Blended, John. If you want to add your 2 cents to the Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler film releasing.
I have nothing to add.
We kind of slammed it, but opening against it is X-Men Days of Future Past.
Well, okay, and look, let me be fair to Blended for a second.
You don't need to be.
Sandler and Barrymore have made some movie magic before.
Yeah.
They have. And you know what? So, look, do I think it looks good? No. But I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt simply because of what these two have done together before. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. We're going to see a return to some I keep wanting to call it Andy Samberg, but it's not Andy Samberg. It's Adam Sandler. To some Adam Sandler magic. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for that. Yeah.
Alrighty, so the next up is Maleficent on the 30th of May. I am really excited about this. Not only is Angelina Jolie a goddess, but I really like the Wicked approach. How they do that with telling the story from the villain's perspective. And I think we're going to get a lot of that. And everything I've seen from the costume to the set design with Angelina and the glowing eyes and the horns. And I just think it looks great. I think Elle Fanning is fantastic. Up-and-coming actress, obviously very talented Fanning family there, and I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, trailer was great.
Yeah.
Trailer was awesome. Everything I would hoped it would be.
Start.
Let's see if it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. Elle Fanning, I remember seeing her in Super 8, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, she can act
Yes.
just like her sister.
Yeah,
Though
she was pretty good.
she looks like the older sister.
She
And
does.
And Dakota looks like the younger
Yeah,
sister.
Yep.
she does. Talented family. Opening against that is the Seth MacFarlane comedy A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Million ways I'm looking forward to this.
Me too.
Pun. No, this is going to be hilarious. The cast looks fantastic.
Amazing.
I think Seth did such a great job with Ted. I'm looking forward to this. I think he's going to knock it out of the park. I'm really excited for it.
Me too. I'm really excited about it. He's obviously proven his directorial chops. All right, moving on to June, my birth month.
June?
Yeah.
We got to start flying through these faster, I think, because we're running out of time for the segment. So we got to start motoring.
John. Okay, Edge of Tomorrow and The Fault in Our Stars on the 6th. Interest for either?
I don't know what The Fault in Our Stars are, but we talked about Edge of Tomorrow, and I think the trailer looks cool. We like the old name.
Fault in Our Stars, Shailene Woodley, Willem
Yeah,
Dafoe.
it's about these two kids basically who meet, I believe, in cancer support group. Some very interesting sounding film. I'm on board for. I think it sounds pretty good. Edge of Tomorrow. The old title for Edge of Tomorrow was All You Need
So
Is
much
Kill,
better.
which was a much better title.
But the trailer was cool.
I don't know. The trailer to me feels like Oblivion 2.0.
Emily Blunt, all day, every day. She is so awesome.
Looks more like Source Code to me.
Really? Because to me, if you played the trailer for Oblivion and then played the trailer for Edge of Tomorrow, but just said this is, but just told me this is another trailer for Oblivion, I wouldn't have batted an eye. I would have been, yeah, this is the same movie. But I don't know. We'll see. It's a Tom Cruise action sci-fi film. I hope it's better than Oblivion because I didn't like Oblivion very much.
All right.
Someone said we skipped X-Men, but we didn't skip
No,
X-Men.
we talked about it.
And we've talked about X-Men a lot.
We've talked about
Yes, we have.
X-Men a lot, and I'm very excited about it. Friday the 13th, 22 Jump Street and How to Train Your Dragon 2. We all loved 21 Jump Street here.
Yeah.
Really excited about that. How to Train Your Dragon, the first one I took my nephews. Charming little film.
I like it. I'm looking forward to it.
I liked it a lot.
But 22 Jump Street, I'm really looking
so
forward to
excited.
it.
And I'm so glad Ice Cube is back.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure which one I'm going to see first.
I'm going to see 22.
Oh,
Because
I'm seeing 22.
I loved How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, it was pretty charming.
But I also loved 21 Jump Street
And it
a
was
lot.
such a surprise because it was so hilarious.
I thought it was going to be crap.
Oh, so did I.
And it turned out to be
Trailer looked
awesome.
Terrible.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Okay, Friday the 20th, Jersey Boys, of course, The Purge 2, and Think Like a Man 2.
Think Like a Man surprised me. I ended up going to see it in theater twice. I really liked it. Romani, I keep forgetting Romani's last name, but he was in 40-Year-Old Virgin And a whole bunch of stuff. He was brilliant in it. Kevin Hart, once again, is in 50,000 movies this year.
Yes.
He's turning into the new Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
I thought it was really funny. I'm looking forward to that. Where were the other
He
two?
screams less, though.
Yes.
Purge 2, which is a no-brainer because it costs nothing to make.
It cost nothing.
yeah.
It made a
And it made
ton.
so much
Wasn't a
money.
fan of the first one.
And then Jersey Boys, of course.
I'm totally intrigued by Jersey Boys.
too.
If for no other reason than Clint Eastwood
Clint
is directing
Eastwood.
it. So, I
This is
mean,
his
then you got to
baby.
be
It's
interested.
a great musical. Why not? Last June, Transformers: Age of Extinction, the 27th.
I told you before. I'll say it again. I have nothing to base this on, but I have been developing a good feeling. I got a good feeling about this Transformers movie. I hated Transformers 2. I hated Transformers 3. I really loved the first Transformers. I hated the second two. So you'd think I'd be really negatively skeptical about this fourth one. But for some reason, I got a really good feeling about it. So I'm excited for Transformers Age of Extinction. It's going to rock.
Dennis?
I am not excited. However, it's one of those movies where even when you're not excited about it, you know you have to go see it.
Yeah.
Like
you got to see it.
There's no way I'm not gonna see it, but at the same time, I'm not like, oh my god, this is gonna be awesome. So I'm very skeptical. I hated the last two. I liked the first one. I'm just, I was kind of hoping that a different director was gonna take over the franchise.
Of course not. It's Michael Bay.
Yeah, but
not
he was-
gonna do it.
he was
He's not
supposed to
gonna
walk
do it.
away.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we've talked about this last time as well. I wasn't really that excited, but I think they've taken steps to get me as excited as I can be. Let's keep going. July. Deliver Us from Evil and Tammy. Now, Tammy I'm looking forward to. It's Melissa McCarthy's next one. She, I believe, wrote it, and I think she directed it. I don't remember. I think it's her directorial debut. Actually, I'm pretty sure it is.
What's it about?
And I don't remember, to be honest. We talked about this so long ago. It involves a road trip of sorts. Chat board, let us know. I forget, but I believe she worked on it with her husband. But I think she deserves a take. She's funny.
Her husband, who has appeared with her in both Bridesmaids and in The Heat.
Yeah.
I like her. I like her in movies that people didn't like. I liked The Heat. I liked even Identity.
People didn't like The Heat?
Some people didn't like The Heat.
There are a number of people who didn't like
I
The Heat.
liked it.
And a lot of people didn't like
liked it.
Identity Thief, and I still enjoyed that. So
Okay.
I'm a fan, so I'll watch it.
Okay. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes on the 11th. That trailer was freaking incredible.
It was a great trailer.
Yeah.
It was a great teaser trailer.
Amazing.
A lot of people criticize me because I say I didn't like the teaser trailer to this movie or that movie because it doesn't tell us anything.
This one had a good narrative.
This one at least gave it set up with the narrative and with the narration. It's set up that we get a basic idea of what's going on here. We got a sense of what's happening. Didn't show us too much, but we did see Caesar. It was perfect for a teaser trailer. It was great. And the first one was so good. I'm really looking forward to this.
I really like the first one and the look on Caesar's face.
Awesome.
That's like, it just sells you the whole movie right there. You know what the movie's about from that.
Yeah, the cast, everything, the trailer, I loved it. And the first one was a big surprise to me. I'm so excited. The next one, Jupiter Ascending, Friday the 18th.
The Wachowski movie.
Of course, the Wachowski siblings did that.
With Mila Kunis and Channing Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued. I'm not going to say I love the first trailer because I haven't. I didn't love the first trailer. But that doesn't change the fact that I think it's a very interesting sounding concept. You've got to be interested in what the Wachowskis are doing. Because even if when they miss, because they're a little hit and miss, but even when they miss swinging big.
Yes.
And you got to respect that a lot. So you got to be interested in anything they do.
Yeah.
I have the same feeling as Transcendence with that movie where it can either be a big hit or it'll be a big bomb. Where
I have faith in the worlds they create. I think they really know how to do sci-fi and really rich, fantastical worlds. And I think the first trailer was good, but not amazing. But I do think it's going to be a cool film.
For those of you who are just joining us, just to let you know where we're at right now, we are running down the films of 2014 quick. Where are we at? We're in July?
We are in July, almost at the end. Planes, Fire and Rescue as well. Looks like a sequel to the animated film.
Right.
And
Don't
then
have much
the
to
last
say.
month, Hercules.
This is the one with The Rock.
The good one. The good one.
Step Up, All In. What?
Now remember, the one with the Hercules, this is of course being directed by X-Men 3 director Brett Ratner, who, he directed Rush Hour 2, which I really liked. I really like Rush Hour 2 a lot.
You didn't like Rush Hour 1, though,
I did not.
See, I like both.
Me too.
Okay.
I didn't care for the third one.
I didn't care for the third one either.
Great duo. Then we have Sex Tape, Jason Segel, and Cameron Diaz.
This, to me, sounds hilarious.
I'm not really a Cameron Diaz fan.
I am. She's hit and miss. She's hit and miss, but I'm generally a fan of hers.
August, what? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Yes, we don't even need to talk
about that. Guardians of the Galaxy.
And
this is going to be great.
It's going to be
James Gunn directing it. For those of you who've not seen Slither, watch Slither if you want to see how good James is as a director.
So good.
This is going to be fun.
And they released that first picture just the other day.
Yes, the official the police lineup picture of them. Yeah, very excited about it.
And Get On Up. Of course, the James
Brown directed by Taylor.
Yeah, Tate Taylor.
Which we learned earlier.
Yeah, and I did think Chadwick Boseman and 2042 were both good elements of the issue. I can't even talk anymore. 6 hours. Here we go. Friday the 8th. Lucy, the one I was talking about. Luke with Scarlett Johansson.
Right? Yep.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage not mutant Ninja Turtles.
Not really
mutant
aliens
from
other
alien.
No, he retracted that.
But I retracted it because the fans didn't like it, so I said that it was.
And of course, with Academy caliber actress playing April O'Neil is Megan Fox,
baby.
Who is, of course, a veteran of Michael Bay films. And let's not forget, people get confused. People think Michael Bay is directing this. He's not.
He's producing.
Michael Bay is not the director of Teenage Mutant Ninja. He is producing it. Jonathan Leesman, who has done some good stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, not one of the all great directors out there today, but he's done some good stuff.
I just don't like everything around this film.
We'll see. I still think there's some hope.
Isn't William Fichtner rumored to be Shredder?
Shredder, yes. And William Fichtner is always awesome.
He is, but it's Shredder. He's not Shredder.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then there's Into the Storm. Richard Armitage, so I'm in.
Yeah, I love Richard Armitage. He's so good in the Hobbit films.
He's so good. Okay.
Expendables 3.
Expendables 3. And
what date are we at now?
We're on the 15th. Still in
August. Okay.
Friday the 15th, Expendables 3.
Yeah.
I really liked the second one.
So did I.
And I hated the first one.
Yeah.
I did not like the first
one.
Yeah,
what they did with the second one is what you should do with sequels. They abandoned the stuff that didn't work with the first one, and they put a re-emphasis on the stuff that did work, and just took it, and they went full ridiculous.
Yeah.
They realized our strength isn't our ridiculousness. Let's abandon any sense of reality, go full ridiculous, and let people have a good time, and they did, and it worked.
The first one, they tried to make it all serious, and like it was a real story, and we gotta
remember
rescue
that scene? Remember the scene between Sylvester Stallone and Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
Then the girl found me on the bridge, and and
that
so
whole
bad.
thing between Jason Statham's character and Charisma Carpenter.
Yeah, although I like seeing Charisma Carpenter
I like
on screen.
seeing her, but the whole story, she had another boyfriend, but he was beating her or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was terrible.
Although I will say that scene where Jason Statham finally goes to put the beat down on him was probably my favorite scene in the movie. When he beats out him and his buddies on the basketball court, that was my favorite scene in the movie. I thought that was kind of fun.
I'm sad that Charisma Carpenter's career has not continued because I loved her in Buffy.
I like her in everything. I think
Yeah.
she's beautiful. She's sweet.
She's
Anyway,
gorgeous. Then we have The Giver, also on the 15th. Jeff Bridges, Meryl Streep, Katie Holmes. I didn't know
Yeah.
Katie Holmes was still acting.
yeah, she's trying again.
Directed by Philip Noyce, who
yeah,
did
I like Philip Noyce.
Salt.
Yeah, and this is one I've seen little about, but I've been reading up on, and I'm fascinated by it. Actually, I'm really keeping my eyes open for this one.
All right, and then next we have Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, which I'm extremely excited about. It's one of my favorite graphic novel series.
Same here.
And I just absolutely loved the first one. I just love Robert Rodriguez's style. We'll give a little bit of credit to Frank Miller for the creation, but we know on the big screen it's him.
Yeah.
There was another little film that he did.
Frank Miller was
didn't work.
co-director
Yeah.
in name only of
Yeah.
the first Sin City.
Exactly.
He was more like creative advisor. He's
Yeah.
probably just
Yeah.
like, oh, this is what this is supposed to be
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
then Robert Rodriguez actually did the directing.
Exactly, and I love Robert Rodriguez's style, and I'm really excited about this, so that seems good. When the Game Stands Tall.
I don't know anything about it.
It just says football with no actors. Maybe it's a documentary. I have no idea. Then we have the Cursed production on the 29th of August. Jane Got a Gun.
I'm telling you, I don't know that there is a movie this year that I am more fascinated to see how this turns out. There is so much drama. So for those of you who aren't familiar with it, what's going on? It's a Natalie Portman film, and she's playing the lead character. And help me with the order of this, because originally we had Zero Dark 30 star and Fighter star.
Oh, God, what's his name?
So
he was in Great
Joel
Gatsby.
Edgerton.
Yeah, Joel
We had
Edgerton.
Joel Edgerton.
And then we also had Bradley Cooper at one time.
Was in there at one point.
Jude Law.
Was at one point.
And then we had Lynn Ramsey, who directed one of my favorite films of all time. We need to talk about Kevin, who
Right.
left, and then Gavin
The
O'Connor.
day they were supposed to
Yeah.
start filming the movie,
Yeah.
Jane Got a Gun, the director just didn't show up.
And Jude Law wanted to work on the film because of her.
So he
left.
Yeah, and then Gavin O'Connor comes in, who's
Well,
amazing.
before
who's
that,
the
Joel
warrior.
Edgerton was supposed to be the villain. He switched to
the
the Jude Law
protagonist
role of the good
role.
guy, and then Bradley Cooper
Yeah.
came in to play the villain
Villain.
role, and then Bradley Cooper left, and I'm telling you now. Granted, we haven't heard any drama from this film over the past
good for them.
4 or 5 months. Sounds like it's been smooth sailing, but still,
hope so.
no other film this year. I am more morbidly curious to see.
I'm a fan
how
of
this turns
Gavin
out.
O'Connor.
So I'm a fan of almost
loved
everybody involved with
Warrior.
this film.
I absolutely loved Warrior, and Natalie Portman is sensational.
She's great.
So I hope so. Next comes a horror film, Jezebel, that we talked about a little bit. I believe that's the one with Olivia Wilde, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it
Oh, who
doesn't
was-
sound incredibly original, but I love horror films, and I love that Olivia Wilde. So
She was great in her.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she
yeah.
was.
She was perfectly cast in
She
that
was.
role.
Whereas everybody wants to talk about the voice of Scarlett Johansson, that
Right?
we forget there are other actual people in the
She
film.
was great. And then here comes The Loft, August 29th.
This
Carl
movie's
Urban.
this movie's been sitting on the shelf for about 3 years.
Yeah. Wow.
That's not a good sign.
No, that's not good. This movie has been done, which is weird because I think this movie
It's a
sounds
remake, apparently.
fascinating. It's these 5 or 6 guys who are buddies, and they get together. And if Anne is within earshot of me, I would never do this, baby. But these 5 or 6 buddies, what they do is they all decide they want to be able to cheat on their wives, so they go in together and rent a loft that can be their private getaway
What's
to
the
take.
face you make, Anne? Let's
Anna's
see it.
making some really bad faces at me.
Hall pass.
Will you show our fans? Show us that face.
That's the smartest thing I've ever heard of.
And Anna's, I think it's a great idea. So they rent this loft together where they can take their girlfriends and cover for each other and have. But then they show up and one day and there's a dead girl in the loft. Somebody's committed murder. It's a very 1940s style sounding mystery.
remake.
Sounds great. Carl Urban's in it. There are a couple other guys whose names I
Wentworth
can't.
Miller.
But it's been sitting on the shelf for like
Yeah.
3 years.
Never a
So
good sign.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, moving on to September, Gain and Speed. We have Green Inferno. My boy Eli Roth directed it.
Oh, that's
I
right.
am a horror movie junkie. He has the formula down, so I do want to see this. And then we also have Addicted. Billy Woodruff directed. I don't really know much about that. So we'll just keep going. And then we have, moving on to the 12th, This Is Where I Leave You. It's a comedy.
Oh, yes. Actually, there is
Tina
a...
Fey, Adam Driver, James
Yes.
Fonda, Rose Byrne,
Jason
Catherine
Bateman.
Hahn, Jason Bateman, and Sean Levy directed it.
Yeah, Sean Levy. I have really started. He's been gaining momentum with me
love
as a
him.
filmmaker. I really love what he did with Real Steel. Jason Bateman, Tina Fey, to me right now can do no wrong.
Oh, I love
I love seeing them in films.
Can we
Although
talk
Admission was pretty
about
bad.
Their cameo, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler's in
And
Anchorman,
Anchorman 2. We shouldn't because it's a spoiler.
Sorry, guys.
But there is a cameo. There's a cameo.
Sorry. They're credited on IMDb. I feel like that's fair game.
Okay, so we can say there's a cameo. We can't say anything about the cameo.
Cool.
There's tons
it's
of
fine.
cameos.
It's fine. Yeah, you know that there's cameos. I did nothing. Okay, No Good Deed, Idris Elba.
Yep.
Will Packer produced it. He is a busy producer, I tell you. And then we have Dolphin Tale 2, Friday the 19th, and The Maze Runner.
Which one's the Maze Runner
Maze
again?
Runner is the sci-fi thriller. Wes Ball directed it. It's post-apocalypse sci-fi based on book.
Don't know
Not
anything
real
about that
many
one.
details, but I like post-apocalypse. Dolphin Tale 2, I really didn't even want to see the first one, and my nephew's like, it's my favorite, and it was really charming and touching and sweet. Then we're moving on to Friday the 26th, The Equalizer.
Yeah, this is another film
Denzel Washington.
that's had a bunch of drama surrounding it. Director on, director off. Denzel was on, then Denzel was off, then Denzel's back again. I think this is a fact. My mom used to watch the old TV show The Equalizer. I think it's a really good premise, and I think Denzel's a good choice for it. I think this is going to be pretty cool to watch.
And then the next one we have is The Box Trolls. Listen to this cast. Ben Kingsley, Toni Collette, Elle Fanning, Jared Harris, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Tracy Morgan.
There is some concept art out there. This, to me, there's a little bit of fantasy, a whole lot of fantasy involved in this, actually. But I think this is going to be very, very cute. I think this is going to be really,
Animation.
really cute. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to October. Okay, October the 3rd, we have Gone Girl. I'm so excited about this.
Yes,
David Fincher,
yes.
I read this book. It's an amazing book. It doesn't fit within a box. There's so much going on until the end, you're guessing. And I think that the cast, Rosamund Pike, I love her.
Yes.
And Ben Affleck with David Fincher, I think this is going to be magic. You guys excited?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fan of Fincher, and I think Ben Affleck is a good actor, despite what people think.
And I stand by that he's improving ever since he stood in front of the lens. He's become better behind it. In front of
Or
it.
vice versa.
In front of it. You know what I mean. It's 6 hours. I'm tired. Okay, here we go. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day.
Yeah.
That was a book, right?
Yeah, and I'm down for this. Remind me again who's in it.
Let's see.
I heard the initial cast read, and the cast read's actually
Steve
pretty.
Carell, Jennifer Garner,
yeah.
our girl, Jennifer Coolidge, Megan Mullally.
I think this is going to be charming. I think it's going to be good.
And your boy Sean Levy produced it, excuse me. Then we have The Judge, same weekend. Robert Downey Jr., Robert Duvall, Vera Farmiga, Billy Bob Thornton, Leighton Meester, Melissa Leo. David Dobkin directed.
This is going to bring us to the can Robert Downey Jr. impress people outside of Iron Man?
Absolutely.
Because
He's an amazing
he
actor.
struggled a little, because I remember not the violinist. What was the one he did with Jamie Foxx?
The pianist.
No.
No. It has something to do with the
That
violin.
has some-
The cellist.
No, I don't think it's
I
the.
don't know. I know what you're talking about.
The oboe player. No, it's he did that one, and that was kind of designed to be like an
The
Oscar.
Soloist.
The Soloist.
Yes.
Thank you.
That feels so good.
It was designed to kind of be an Oscar run kind of film, and it just kind of fell flat. Then
it
he
was good.
did that one with Zach Galifianakis, the comedy where the kind of the road
It's
trip
kind of like
comedy.
a road trip.
Hey, Ann, what was that Zach Galifianakis Robert Downey Jr. movie that you like so much? Due Date.
I actually like that.
I thought it was okay.
It was okay, but it didn't really do anything. And it was like Robert, since Iron Man revived his career, I thought he was really good in Sherlock Holmes. I know a lot of people don't like him. I think he was really solid as Sherlock Holmes, and I look forward to seeing him in another one. He hasn't really been able to hit one out of the park outside of Iron Man
Which I think
lately.
is
And
outrageous.
this
He's
is
so
the
good.
one, if he's going to be able to do it, this is the one that's setting him up to do it, I think.
Have
I
you
think-
ever
I
seen
think
him
he-
do Chaplin?
I think
But,
he has
but that
it
was
in-
forever
I know,
ago.
but, like,
yeah.
the man was huge.
I'm just talking about
before
since
Iron
his
Man.
return. Since
Before
his
Iron
return.
Man.
That's because the money.
Yeah.
The money.
Then we have the interview same weekend, October the 10th. The follow-up to
That
This Is the
could
End
be
director, Seth Rogen,
hilarious.
and Evan Goldberg.
For those of you who don't know what the interview is, you got Seth Rogen, James Franco, and they play like an interview and a cameraman team, and they get an interview with Kim Jong-un, who the leader of North Korea, and then before they go to do their interview, the CIA get them and say, "We want you to assassinate him."
I buy it.
This sounds great. I buy
or
it.
sell, buy.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, next we have October 17th, The Best of Me. Michael Hoffman directed and wrote. Michelle Monaghan.
I love Michelle Monaghan.
Me too. I don't know much of that. Dracula Untold.
This is interesting. I mean, because when word came out about this about a year ago, it's like, do we want another Dracula movie? I'm going to contend that we haven't seen a really. I didn't even like Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I did not like that
And so I don't think we've had a really good, proper Dracula movie. And
do you watch the show?
No, I have not. I have not watched the TV show
I haven't
Dracula.
either, but I do like Jonathan Rhys-Meyers a lot, so I
Right.
thought that he would be good at that, but I don't know. Then we have Book of Life, same weekend. There's animated, no other info about it. Cool. Then we have Friday the 24th, Paranormal Activity 5. They're just turn them out.
When you make that much money for such a
that
low
cheap,
budget.
but I gotta tell you, like I said, I constantly go into every Paranormal Activity movie thinking it's gonna suck, and I constantly walk out going, "Hey, I had a pretty good time watching that." So, nothing's changed. We'll see how it turns out.
And we also have, same weekend, Untitled Vince Vaughn movie.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
That's how late. That's how far away these films are now. We're getting into some films that don't even have proper titles yet. So
guess what? We're now in November. We're
all
getting
right.
to the end. Interstellar.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
okay, once again, I think it's a terrible teaser trailer.
I don't.
But I'm telling you what, it doesn't matter if it's a terrible teaser
It's
trailer.
Chris Nolan.
This movie's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
This cast is awesome. It's Christopher Nolan. I love the concept. This movie's going to be great.
But Christopher Nolan never gives us a lot. Do you remember the Joker's voice in the black screen teasing the Dark Knight? I mean, he never gives us a lot initially. He's teasing us, and I really like
I
it.
still don't. I don't believe Chris Nolan has any hand in the marketing of
With
this
Matthew
whatsoever.
McConaughey, he is a very involved filmmaker. I know that much. But Matthew McConaughey's
I think he's busy making the
voice
film right now.
Over it? Come on, it was good. Anyway, Big
Nah.
Hero 6 against that.
Yeah, that's the
Another
one we were
animated.
talking about earlier this morning when we first started the show, where Marvel is taking some of their characters and going to go animated with it. And like in the comic books, Sunfire is actually one of the characters in Big Hero 6. So it'll be curious. I don't know if he's still going to be or not, but I hope he is.
Okay, and then we have the 14th, Blackbird, tentative title. Don't know much about that. It's a drama. Okay, good times. Then we have Brad Pitt, David Ayer, Untitled. Was that supposed to be Fury? Did it change?
No, actually, who's the cast listed? Because
Brad Pitt and David Ayer, and it says War in the subject.
It's probably
maybe-
Fury.
It's gotta be
maybe
Fury, right?
are they changing the title to
I
Fury?
don't know, but now it says Untitled, and there's no one else.
Because you got Shia
listed.
LaBeouf in there as well.
Yeah,
Logan
it's a
Learman,
good-
I
it's a
believe,
good
is in it.
cast.
Michael Pena's in it,
Is it
if I'm
just
not
another
mistaken.
one? 14th of November? That'd be too quick. Maybe it's Fury. Anyway, if you guys know, let us know. Also, Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yes.
Look, I
Yes.
don't care how bad these guys have been making their movies.
Fairly Brothers.
The Fairley Brothers lately. It's Dumb and Dumber.
That's going to be awesome.
I
And-
think they're going to hit it out of
And
the
the
park.
players are all returning. What
Yeah.
more do we want? Anchorman was great, so we know it can work.
It can work.
Okay, then we have Friday the 21st, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. I'm
Look,
so excited about
we
this.
talked about it. I think we all put Hunger Games. I know I put
Yes.
Hunger
Yeah,
Games
it
in my
was
top
on
20.
all of ours.
We all put it in
Yeah.
our top 20 of the year. It's not just a great young adult
Yeah.
movie. It is a great movie, and I think bodes nothing. They got the director returning.
Yeah.
Nothing but good things ahead.
Much
for this
better than
franchise.
the first one.
Yeah.
Makes me much
Yeah.
more excited
Yeah.
for the third
And I know
one.
John Schnepp's in the other room right now.
John
and
Schnapp, come say hi.
I know he's a big fan of Hunger Games Catching Fire,
Yeah.
so I know he'll be looking forward to the next one
Yeah,
too.
and not to mention Julianne Moore as President Coin.
Due date, yo.
Come say
Apparently,
hi.
Schnepp, you stick your head in and say hi.
Look who we have.
Schnepp's in the house.
Schnepp.
Whoa.
Monster.
Schnepp will be on in our next segment here, starting in about 15 minutes. So
almost
I heard you guys cracking on due date. I love that.
I
said I liked it.
Get out of here.
Okay,
I'll be back.
we'll miss you until then, Schneppy. Then we have McFarland, sports drama. Not to be
Don't know what that
confused
is.
with
Don't know what that is, yeah.
Okay, then we have Horrible Bosses 2.
I tell you, look, I loved the first Horrible Bosses. A lot of people either didn't like it or didn't have a lot of enthusiasm for it. And maybe it's one of those movies that isn't very good, but for me, it just hit me the right way. Because when I saw it, I thought it was really hilarious.
I definitely saw it. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I didn't care for it, but for whatever reason, I'm looking forward to the second one.
Chris Pine and Christoph Waltz as
on.
father
Yeah.
and son. This is
And
And
gonna be
also, I
great.
saw the potential
Yeah.
in
Yes.
the concept.
I actually saw it the first time I watched it, and I was like, yeah, it was funny. And I saw it again. I was like, okay, I really liked it. I feel like I had a really high expectations because of the trio.
Sure,
being
obviously.
fantastic.
Well, not just the trio, but look at all
Colin
the
Farrell,
bosses
Kevin
too.
Spacey,
Kevin Spacey
and Jennifer
Jennifer
Aniston.
Aniston.
In that
That
kind
is
of
the
a role.
She should be doing.
Yeah, and
The
she
more
did it in We're the
edgy.
Millers.
Yes, which was
Yes.
underrated.
Way to go, Jen. Okay, keep going. Home. Another animated 2014.
Man, how many animated movies
I know,
are
there's a
there?
lot.
coming.
Okay, Exodus.
Are we
the
in-
other
are we in
biblical-
November
now? We're December.
We're in December now.
December the 12th.
Exodus, which is the Ridley Scott. Christian Bale's in this one, right?
Yeah.
Playing Moses. Interesting. Very, very white English dude playing Moses. It should be interesting. It can. I don't care. I really don't care. All I care about is do you have a good actor in the role? That's all I care about. And Christian Bale is obviously a good actor. He's an Academy Award winning actor. And I'm a sucker for the big biblical epics. So let's give it a
So
shot.
he's playing Moses. It's interesting because I think Aronofsky originally wanted Christian Bale for Noah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and
And who's playing Pharaoh? Who's playing?
Oh yeah. Here, let me look.
It's
Oh,
come on,
Box Office Mojo.
Wait a second. No,
it's somebody.
isn't it the guy from Zero Dark 30?
It
and
might
Fighter?
be.
Joel Edgerton.
Isn't
Yeah,
it
it
Joel
might be.
Edgerton?
It
I
might
think
be.
Joel Edgerton is playing Pharaoh.
The cast is really good. I remember that
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
I just remember a lot of complaints of it being very white.
Okay, then we have Paddington. Paddington Bear based on him.
Oh,
grew up with
I
that.
think that's going to be adorable. I think that's going to be really cute. I think that's a can't lose that one.
I remember getting my first Paddington Bear in London. It made me very happy. Moving on to the 17th of December, Hobbit, there and back again.
Dude, I called. I know most people disagree, and that's cool. But I called The Hobbit my number 2 movie of 2013. I thought it was a big improvement over the first one, and I really liked the first one. And I think the best cliffhanger going in. I know you guys
loved
also
it.
mentioned the Hunger Games cliffhanger.
I loved it.
That's absolutely great too. I'm so excited for
Yeah,
it.
me too. And then Annie, the musical, I believe that's Will Smith's venture.
Yes.
With Q Wallace.
And
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx.
Beasts of
Quavaz
Southern
and
Wild,
Wallace,
who's
yeah.
phenomenal. I'm excited to see the next one. Then we have Wednesday the 24th, Into the Woods. That is one of my favorite musicals of all time.
I believe Johnny Depp is supposed to be in this one. Is he not?
Yes, Meryl Streep, Johnny Depp, Anna Kendrick, Chris Pine. It's
Yes,
amazing.
I think it sounds ridiculous,
But
but
do you know the musical?
I do not know the musical, and people who know the musical tell
Love
me
it.
it's actually quite great.
So I'm telling you that the musical does a very similar thing as kind of Wicked, but not from the villain's perspective. It's the untold fairy tale stories. And it's really amazing, and the music is wonderful, and the characters are so memorable, and I think you're going to like it.
All right.
Okay, then we have Night at the Museum 3.
Well, but once again, I mean, you got a good comedy team. You got Ben Stiller. You've got a real steel director. We were just talking about him.
Sean Levy.
Sean Levy, who's been on a bit of a roll lately. The other ones have made a lot of money. They found an audience with family stuff. I hope it's better than the second one. I didn't like the second
I
one.
haven't seen any of them. I just remember that someone was yelling at me when on one of the AMC movie talk shows. I was like, "Oh, I hadn't seen it. I can't believe you never seen Night at the Museum."
As if
Like,
it's The
yeah,
Godfather.
exactly. Like I hadn't seen The Godfather or something like that. I was like, "It's Night at the Museum.
Yeah.
Calm down."
Slow your roll, buddy. Then we have the 25th on Christmas. Angelina Jolie's next directorial effort, Unbroken. It's the war drama, and apparently the Coen
yes.
brothers wrote it.
Yeah.
So I am in.
This could be a good year for Angelina if
been a bad year
Maleficent
for
turns
her?
out turns out well, and if this one turns out well, this could be a very very good year
just
for
the
her.
most
And
incredible
Brad Pitt. I mean,
movie.
if Fury works out well, I mean, they're as a power couple, they're doing pretty good. World War Z ended up better than expected.
Well,
Made a lot more money than I thought.
produced 12 Years a Slave.
That's right, and was
That's
one of
why.
the stars in it.
That's why he was in it.
Right. Once again as a Canadian, he
Oh, yeah.
plays
Well,
the hero.
Did you see I saw this on Facebook. They were posting pictures of the 12 Years a Slave posters from Italy. And it was like giant faces of Brad Pitt and Michael Fassbender with like a little...
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
running, and I think someone had posted, I don't know if it might have been Schnepp, someone had posted something like, I didn't know that 12 Years a Slave was about these two good-looking white guys.
And is that it for 2014?
Yeah, that's it, guys. And I'm about to leave and tag Mr. Schnepp in, but I just want to thank you so much for all your love and support. We're going to break here. I want to plug what we're doing one more time. Check out that link, www.crowdrise.com, AMC Movie News Philippines. We really appreciate your support for this amazing, great cause. And I'll miss you until the next show. Mwah.
All right, hang in there, guys. I'm going to let Amy Rose. Hope she can get bite down.
Oh my God, I can't do it.
I got jubes in my mouth. Yeah. So, listen, just to remind you once again of what it is we're doing here. This is a 24-hour live streaming marathon, but YouTube will not allow people to stream live for 24 hours. So we are doing these in segments. So we're about to take 10 to 15-minute break, and we'll reset and we'll get the next segment ready to go here. So once we end this segment, it will become available on our YouTube channel. You guys will be able to find and watch there, and if you want. But we will start up the next live segment. We're going to be taking your questions, and I want to give you an update right now on our fundraising. Our goal originally was to raise $3,000, and we passed that a while ago. I'm opening up right now. Guys, we are $43 away from $13,000. Yeah. We're at $12,957 for the Philippines disaster relief. Keep donating, keep giving. We're going to take a break right now for a few minutes. We'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to have myself, Dennis Zen, John Schnepp. We're going to be taking your questions. And we're looking forward to that. Make sure you come back and join us. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. If you want to know, just go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/AMC Theaters. And that's where you'll be able to see the next live segment that's about to start. Or just follow me on Twitter @JohnCampia, and I will tweet out in just a couple of minutes the direct URL link to the next live stream. So come on over and join us. We'll see you in a few minutes. Until then, we'll see you in just a bit.